A lot of people ask me, what is a member engagement solution? What do we mean by member engagement? And our solution actually has three parts to it. It's a data platform, it's a messaging platform, and it's a discipleship methodology. And it actually takes the union of all three of these components for a church to really effectively engage their members. But before I dive right into the solution, I want to spend a little bit of time on the methodology. Why did we build this solution? What are we trying to accomplish? When I first joined the church, one of the first questions I asked is, what's our job? Right? And I tried to simplify the articulation of that job on a single piece of paper. And what I learned by talking to a number of people is that our job is to take somebody, I just like to call them a not yet Christian, through some sort of a journey or a life cycle or a member life cycle till they spit out the bottom a fully committed follower of Christ or disciple. And we do that because we believe if we're effective at building disciples, they're going to go out to their area of influence, their schools or their workplaces or their jobs, and they're going to bring more people into the church, and we're going to grow the church and the kingdom as a result. It's a great commission on a PowerPoint slide. But then I took that, I just divided it into pieces to answer the second question. Are we any good at it? So I'm going to walk you through that life cycle just really quickly. It's roughly divided into two sections. This upper piece is commonly known as the marketing funnel or the sales funnel. The bottom half is often known as an engagement wheel. In the top piece, the very first layer is awareness. And all the church is trying to do at this stage of the game is make people aware that they exist. This is your Google display ads, your search, your billboards, or your bumper stickers. All you're trying to do is get people to move from knowing you exist to consider attending your church, right? So that moves us to the next layer of consideration. Now, we did a little study and we found that most people will go to your website when considering a church. In fact, what we learned is they'll go to somewhere between 12 and 15 different websites before they'll ever attend a church. My encouragement is that churches then look at their website through the lens of this prospect, this seeker, where most websites are built for members. We really encourage you to think about it through the seeker lens. From there, we're trying to get that website to get them to evaluate your church. The number one place for evaluation is a first-time visit. After that first-time visit, ultimately what we're hoping they're going to do is raise their hand and say, I'm known, here I am, I'm in. From there, they move into the engagement wheel. Now think about the things you do to engage your members. What are the activities that if you had a magic wand you would wave to get your people to do? Primarily because we've learned that when they do these activities, the probability of their heart changing for the Lord goes way up. Right now, it's unique for your church, and this can be as many steps as you have or as few as you have, but we're all doing some very similar things. We want our members to commit their life to Christ, typically through baptism. We'd like them to worship God on a regular basis. That often takes the form of attendance or getting into the Word. We want them to connect with like-minded believers. That's often our small group ministry, or the reason we do a lot of events on our campuses that bring people in. It's also we want people to serve. We want them to serve other people on our campuses, in our community, go on mission trips, you name it. But the concept is when they serve others, something changes inside of themselves. We want them to share their faith. This is often some way to articulate or give their testimony, as well as inviting people to church. And ultimately, we want them to give. Right? And giving could be tithe or radical giving and generosity, which we hope to get them to. Again, these are your steps. Now, if I was cool, this circle would be twisting or spinning a little bit, because what we've found is this isn't a linear process. People don't come through this discipleship in the same order, at the same speed, or at the same pace. It really depends on their spiritual background, their life stage, you name it, a number of factors dictate this. Ultimately, what we're looking for are fully engaged members who are going to spit out as leaders or disciples. And the job of that disciple, help other people through it and bring more people in. This is the member life cycle. Now, when I was asked, what do we do for growth? Most churches think you focus more here. We're just the opposite. We would encourage that you actually focus more on engagement. We've found that when you engage people, you actually get a 4x return on growth than when you focus on just marketing. So the two things that we really encourage you to do is focus on engagement more than you do on prospecting, and then to do that engagement in the most personalized, relevant way you possibly can. You see, we actually want to know where Jill is in that life cycle and where David is in that life cycle. We want to know it uniquely from everybody else. This way we can communicate with them in a one-on-one, personalized, relevant way as we possibly can. So, in short, what Studio C and their member engagement solution is all about is to help you know where your members are in that journey, match them intelligently to a step that they can take, and then have a messaging platform for you to tell them how to take that step in the most personalized, relevant way possible. And then we just help you measure the heck out of it so that you can get better tomorrow than you are today.